Welcome to Obsidian Quill Publishing, where shadows breathe and legends rise. If you love cryptids, curses, and tales that crawl under your skin, you're in the right place. But I need your help. Subscribe now and be part of the hunt. Your support helps this channel grow and brings more terrifying tales to life. Also, now available, The Hunt for Dogman, Parts 1 and 8, and Creepy Cryptid Tales explore a terrifying world of claws, shadows, and whispered legends. From spine-tingling encounters to cryptid horror that feels too real, these stories will leave you sleeping with the lights on. Available in paperback and ebook, wherever you buy your stories. Scan the QR code and order yours today. Whispers in the Pines. They say the pines don't talk, but that's a lie. The pines hunger, they breathe, they dream. And when blood seeps deep into their roots, they awaken something that doesn't whisper. It devours. Lance Greyfox had always listened. A quiet ranch hand raised on ancient Cherokee ways, Lance lived in silence deeper than words. His people had long walked the line between this world and the other, leaving offerings at the gnarled roots of twisted trees, muttering prayers into smoke that didn't always rise toward the sky. He knew the signs. When birds fell from the air like forgotten prayers, when wind curled in on itself, whispering backwards, when your skin prickled as if someone behind your eyes was staring outward. His grandfather warned him in midnight tones of the guardian, the walker of shadow, the thing the forest calls when blood is betrayed. Lance didn't believe it. Not really. Not until the night he died. It was frost-bitten dusk when it happened. Lance had just finished hammering a fence post. The last of the sun bled red behind the tree line like a warning slit open in the sky. Then came Mackie and Jerome, stumbling down the trail, slurring hate through whiskey-stained mouths, laughter sharp as broken glass. "You think this land still knows your name?" Mackie hissed. "You and your people had your turn. It's ours now." Lance didn't speak. That made them vicious. The first hit came fast, a boot to the ribs. Then fists. Then the bottle, shattered across his face, jagged glass slicing a crescent of crimson down his cheek. They dragged him, bones cracked, gasping, bleeding, into a clearing of ancient pines. They laughed as they left, leaving his blood to soak into the dirt like a cursed offering. But Lance didn't pass on. He rose, not in flesh, but as a mist, a presence, a rage given shape, hovering over his own body, bound to the soil and the injustice that screamed in the wind. And the pines answered. From the tree line, something shifted. Massive, hunched, swaying like it was made of bone and wrath. It didn't step into the clearing. It seeped into it, pulling the dark in behind it. Its fur was matted with gore. Its muscles pulsed like a heart gone wrong. Its claws scraped bark into curled shavings with every move. Then it raised its snout and sniffed the blood. Its lips curled back. It saw Lance, the Dogman, 8 feet of hunger and vengeance. Its eyes glowed with the heat of a dying sun. Its mouth opened slowly, wider than any creature should. Inside, 3 rows of black, jagged teeth, layered like some ancient machine of flesh. Bits of old meat clung to its gums. Drool hung in ropes, thick as oil, dotted with flecks of decaying bone. It didn't growl, it nodded. It had heard his death. Now it would respond. The next night, Mackie was behind Keegan's bar, showing off for anyone drunk enough to pretend to care. Should have seen his face, like a deer, dumb and stunned. Nobody laughed. At 2:19 a.m., the neon sign buzzed once, then died. The alley dropped into choking blackness. Even the rats disappeared. Then came the footsteps, not stomping, not stumbling, measured, intentional, carnivorous. Something emerged between the dumpsters, shoulders first, then claws, scraping against brick with a scream of stone and metal. The Dogman. Its fur looked burned, blackened patches peeled away, revealing muscles slick with pus and dark veins pulsing like maggots under skin. Its breath fogged the air, wet, reeking of blood and rot. Mackie turned to run. He didn't make it 3 steps. A massive hand slammed into his face, not his throat, his face, crushing bone with a sickening crunch. The Dogman lifted him, arms dangling, feet twitching. Then came the other claw. It tore across his belly, opening him like a zipper. Steam and intestines spilled out like meat from a torn sack. The Dogman leaned in. Its jaw ratcheted open with an audible snap. Its teeth clicked against bone as it bit through Mackie's collarbone, tearing a ragged hunk free with a wet crack pop. The scream became gurgling. When police arrived, they found only half of Mackie. The wall behind him was soaked in arterial spray. Next to his remains, etched in blood and pine needles, a single red handprint with claws. 2 nights later, Jerome. Jerome ran north. 4 hours. Frozen cabin. No neighbors. No lights, no signal, just the wind and the trees. Thick, dark, endless. But the pines already knew. Lance had whispered his name to them. Inside the cabin, Jerome paced with his shotgun, muttering panicked prayers. He hadn't slept in 2 nights. The image of Mackie's body, what was left of it, kept playing in his head on a loop soaked in blood and bile. At midnight, the lights flickered like candles dying in a tomb. Then, in a distance, he heard a howl, loud, eerie. It sent a shiver down his spine. Jerome gripped the shotgun like a crucifix, sweating, trembling, praying. Then, pressure, a sharp pain in his bladder. He had to go outside. He didn't want to, but he had to. He opened the door slowly, so slowly, until the hinges creaked like a whispering ghost. The cold hit his skin like a warning. He stepped out, careful and quiet, eyes darting side to side, breath fogging in short bursts. The trees stood like silent judges. Every few steps, he stopped and looked over his shoulder, convinced something was behind him. He found a tree just 15 feet from the porch, set the rifle down against the trunk, unzipped. The relief was brief. Then he heard it. A growl. Low, deep, too close, followed by a shh, 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 the sound of something massive dragging claws through snow and dirt. Rhythmic, wet, coming closer. He zipped up with shaking hands, grabbed the rifle and turned. But there was nothing. Then from above, scrape, 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 on the roof. Claws appeared first, long, twitching, curled like hooks, gripping the eaves with unnatural strength. Then the ears, pointed, twitching, scanning for sound, and then the eyes, burning, yellow, ancient, not just looking at him, studying him, dragging guilt to the surface like splinters rising from flesh. Jerome screamed as his bladder let go. Again. But it wasn't until the mouth opened that his sanity shattered. The dogman's jaw unhinged with a sickening crunch, revealing rows of nightmare teeth jutting from bleeding gums. Black rot clung to its molars like tumors. Its tongue split in two like a forked serpent, swaying like it was tasting his fear. Then it dropped to the ground 7 feet from him and roared. The world exploded into wood splinters, screams, and blood. 37 seconds, then silence. When authorities arrived, they found pieces of Jerome embedded in the walls, teeth, nails, his jawbone, like a painting done in pain. But one wall was different. On it, in dried blood, an upside-down pine tree. Now, no one speaks of the killings, but they know. They leave gifts at the tree line. Tobacco, coins, a deer heart wrapped in cloth. Because he's still there. Lance Greyfox, tied to the roots of old trees, a ghost whispering the names of the guilty into the wind. And the Dogman. It listens. It hunts. So if you hear footsteps in the dark when no one's there, If yellow eyes flicker between the pines, don't run, don't scream, because the trees already know your name, and they've whispered it into something with claws. Thank you for listening to the new version of Whispers in the Pines, a tale of vengeance, spirits, and the dark truths that linger in forgotten forests. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss what's hiding in the shadows. We drop a new original horror story every week, right here on the channel. Until next time, keep your fire burning low, and don't listen too closely to the whispers in the dark.